This video is sponsored by CuriosityStream. Sign up for CuriosityStream using the link in the description, and you'll also get access to my video streaming service, Nebula, for free. It's been a quarter of a century since the release of Wonderwall.
You're my Wonderwall.
The britpop-belter remains one of the most iconic songs of the 90s, and is officially the first track from that decade to surpass 1 billion streams on Spotify. Oasis's most popular tune topped the charts in over a dozen countries, and continually ranks among the best tracks of all time, beating the likes of Bohemian Rhapsody, Stairway to Heaven, and Let It Be. Whether it's the open mic night at the pub, or that one friend who brought a guitar to the party, the love song's legacy continues to endure. But what is it about Wonderwall that has listeners and budding guitarists returning to it over 2 decades later? Well, it is a tune, but let's take a closer look at what made Wonderwall so popular. Oasis debuted in 1994 with their record Definitely Maybe. Immediately, it shot up the charts to number 1 in its first week of release, becoming the fastest selling debut album in the UK at the time. It's an album that would revitalize British pop music, straying away from the grunge phase of that era. After a year of touring, a Gallagher sibling feud, an ejected drummer, and a Britpop battle with Blur later, Oasis headed to Rockfield Studios to record their follow-up What's the Story Morning Glory. Wonderwall would emerge from those sessions, and it's a track that came together fairly quickly. It seems the great ones always do. Guitarist and songwriter Noel Gallagher brought a rough cut of the track into studio and played it for his brother Liam, who hated it. This was an open-hearted and simply arranged track that voiced emotion, very different from anything Oasis had released thus far, and Liam preferred their heavier material. Noel would say that he had written the track for his then girlfriend and future wife Meg Matthews. But when the pair divorced after the turn of the century, he'd reveal that the track was actually about an imaginary friend who's gonna come and save you from yourself. Originally, Noel took the helm on vocals, but his rendition sounded a bit flat. Despite his initial hesitance over the track, Liam would step up as the lead singer on the tune, and once he did, he'd realize the full potential the song truly had.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
Initially, they had planned to call the song Wishing Well, but opted for Wonderwall, a bit of an homage to former Beatle George Harrison's solo album, Wonderwall Music. But what made it so damn popular? For one, Oasis were at the peak of their fame upon the track's release. They were essentially the biggest band to come out of England since the Beatles. There was already plenty of attention on the group when Morning Glory arrived, which only helped propel Wonderwall further into the mainstream. Even Liam's nasally voice was in its prime, and sits well above the rest of the lightweight instrumentation.
I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
And that's the other side of it too. Wonderwall stood out for its simplicity. Morning Glory saw Oasis transition from rock singles towards rock anthems. But even Wonderwall was like none of the others. The track is made up of a soft drum pattern, a mellotron that simulates an orchestra, and of course, an acoustic guitar. And that guitar is playing some fairly simple chords that any new guitar player should quickly be able to pick up and cover. There's not even a bridge section, just a second refrain, making it even easier to play all the way through. Throw in an easy to remember chorus that can be sung after just one listen, and you've got yourself a sing-along that can be reproduced nearly anywhere.
Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves.
Not to mention that it's not hard to sing, and actually caters to nasally or average voices. Finally, it's a sappy, melancholic love song with just a bit of attitude, making it more empowering than cliched. It's a song about looking to someone for salvation, finding a love that could very well save you from yourself. And when it's played in public, it becomes this communal bonding experience of emotions that we've all felt at one point or another. Like Liam has gone on to say, a Wonderwall can be anything. The single only ever peaked at number 2 in the UK, being held off by Robson and Jerome's I Believe? What?
I believe above the storm, the smallest breath.
It did break them out in the US when it soared to number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. Also sitting at number 1 on the Billboard Alternative Songs chart for 10 straight weeks. It saw nominations for Best Rock Song and Best Vocal Performance at the Grammys, and was even voted the best British song of all time by Virgin Radio listeners, above hits from Queen, Zeppelin, and the Beatles. But despite its worldwide success and lasting appeal, it's a track that the band have fallen in and out of love with over time. Regardless, Wonderwall has become timeless. Even if it's been overplayed, it's aged fairly well. It was something fresh from one of England's biggest bands of the 90s. Its simplistic nature made it easily accessible for anyone to join in and play along, and its emotional core kept listeners connected and coming back for more. It's the most overrated Oasis song, but it's definitely one of their best. Anyway, that's Wonderwall. We all know about Woodstock, the most famous rock concert in history. But at the center of it all was this psychedelic symbol-covered Volkswagen bus called Light. But after the festival, it would never be seen again. CuriosityStream just debuted the Woodstock bus, a documentary that solves the 50-year-old mystery to find the lost bus that became the iconic emblem of that generation. Use the first link in the description to get 26% off CuriosityStream and start watching it now. With Wonderwall, Oasis set out to do something different. My creator friends and I have teamed up to do the same. We've built our own streaming platform, and it's called Nebula. It features a ton of exclusive content and originals from some of your favorite creators, like Adam Neely, Lessons from the Screenplay, Tom Scott, and a bunch of others. On Nebula, our content is ad-free, and it pushes some boundaries, since we don't have to worry about YouTube's constant restrictions or the dreaded algorithm. And we've partnered with CuriosityStream so that we can keep making it happen. From the founder of the Discovery Channel, CuriosityStream is home to some of the best documentaries on the internet. It's a pairing that just makes sense. Educational content and educational creators. So here's the deal. When you sign up for CuriosityStream, you'll also get Nebula for free. You get CuriosityStream, you also get Nebula. I've put a link down below for you to get started. And right now, an annual CuriosityStream plan is 26% off. So treat yourself to a pair of new streaming platforms for only $14.79 a year. You're going to be staying inside during this winter quarantine anyway, so head to the link in the description to get both CuriosityStream and Nebula for 26% off. It really helps support this channel and educational content in general. But tell me, why do you love Wonderwall? Let me know in the comments below. Follow us at MoreMiddle8 on Twitter and Instagram for MoreMiddle8. That's it from me. Again, thanks for watching and keep listening.